There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called Real American Strength. Lima, Allen County, Real American Strength. Forever moving forward without forgetting where we've been.
Creativity meets technology, where possibilities never end.
Ohio's strong Midwestern know-how, exploring innovative ideas. Deep-rooted but always growing, ever proud of where we live. Lima, Allen County, Real American Strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2. Welcome back to Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker. Christine Pleva is in the studio today. She's the director of the Lima Allen County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and we just saw the closing of the caboose for the tourism season.
Yes, we did. Amazing. Another season passed us by again, and we were very busy out at the caboose again this year. Tourism has been on an upswing. We're very, very grateful.
Yeah, well, how was the season?
You know, the season was actually very good. We are finding, however, that the season is lengthening for us. It used to be our focus would be, you know, mid-May all the way through September, and that's what we do when we have hours at the caboose. But we are finding more groups coming in, more individual people coming in, business travelers, leisure travelers, all through the year. So we're seeing expanded programs and things like that to accommodate those people, and it's wonderful for the hotels too. When we talk about how did tourism do, I can tell you exactly how it's been for the first 6 months of this year.
Please.
From January through June, we basically monitor tourism growth by lodging tax collections. That is the amount of lodging tax or tax on hotel rooms, okay, in each community. So in our community, all the hotel rooms, there is, when you go to a hotel room or you book a hotel, you pay for your hotel room. When you check out, you also pay your sales tax and something called an occupancy tax or lodging tax. Well, that's how we gauge the increase or decrease in tourism in an area. And for the first 6 months of 2012, the collections of those lodging taxes are up 6.1%.
That's wonderful.
It is.
It's better than the stock market.
It is. It really is. Yes, it's something nice to count on. It's true.
Why are people coming here? What do we have to offer?
So much to do. So much to do. We have a wonderful array of attractions. Everything from our museum that was expanded, you know, in the last year or two, and is looking at future expansions, to all of the venues we have for meetings and events. You know, we have a new meeting planner that the Convention and Visitors Bureau produced, and it's a couple of pages, literally, of every type of meeting venue you can have. We have such a wide variety for a community our size, which is really, really wonderful because we can accommodate all sizes of groups. But besides that, just the leisure traveler, you know, we're in such a strategic location, right off I-75, just south of Highway 30, and I think that really helps a lot with people just wanting to come off the interstate or come off the highway and find a place to stay.
So if somebody wants to bring a group to town, whether
Yes.
it's a business meeting or a family reunion or whatever it is,
Yes.
if they call you, what do you do for them?
Oh, there's so many things we can offer them. First of all, and primarily, we need everyone to know our services are totally free. We do not charge for anything we do. We are funded by that lodging tax collection, and our job is to promote this community. So we promote. We promote events. We are working outside of this community to get people to come into the community. But what we can do for individual groups is this. We can work with groups and we can deal with all the hotels and send out bid packages for special rates for large groups coming in. We can show them all different tours of different hotels, familiarization memorization tours, things like that, so they can select the hotel property and the meeting spaces that are right for them. We can provide them all materials, including brochures, visitors guides, maps, alternate things to do in the area should they have time free from their event. We do a lot of spouses tours and tour programs and motor coach tours. All of those kinds of things we make available. We can tell them everything from what restaurants they may be looking for in the cuisine they want to where the best place to get a certain item of clothing if they want to shop. So we can work with everyone like that.
And you know what's great is for those of us who live here and may not realize everything that's going on, you actually have a list of stuff on your website that's going on constantly, daily.
Daily. We update that website daily. And we have just about everything going on in the community that is a community event. The thing to do is just go to our website, which is www.lima-allencvb.com. Click on the calendar of events, and you will get a monthly calendar, which you can scroll through and click on each item with details for every day. We already have items in there for next year, and we just keep updating daily. So there's usually thousands of events in there at a time.
If you say there's nothing going on in Lima, you're wrong.
You are absolutely wrong. There is something every day of the week, every week of the year. You just have to look for it and know what your tastes are to what you want to try to do.
So is there some big stuff coming up this fall we should be looking for?
You know, yes, absolutely. September is a very big month. We have, of course, the Delphus Old Fashioned Canal Days coming up the middle of the month. I believe that is like the 55th year of that event in Delphus, and that's just a quick ride, you know, 10-15 minute ride down 309. All sorts of activities going on for that. One of the largest events that comes in from out of town for our community is also coming up beginning September 20th to the 23rd. That is going to be at the fairgrounds. That is the Rebel Run Rod and Custom National Show. 33rd year for that event, and it's a very large event. There will be well over 2,000 to 2,500 cars on display there. All these cars from the 50s, 60s, all sorts of activities, music, raffles, drawings, movies, all sorts of things going on. And again, that will be coming up. There's also going to be, you know, some local things, but things everyone enjoys, like the Laurel Oaks has their show, the craft show coming up.
It's huge.
Yeah, that is the Laurel Oaks Hobby and Harvest Fair. That's September 15th. That's a day-long event, but it's hard to even park out there during that event. So, I mean, there's things like that. There are local things that draw people in, and then there are groups coming in from out of town. And I have to mention at the very end of September, the last weekend of September, is the Apple Festival out at the Johnny Appleseed Park.
One of my favorites.
It draws people from everywhere, and there's so much to do. There's so much modern-day things to do at that Apple Festival, but it's so interesting to see how things were done in years past, in pioneer days and all of that. So there's always things going on.
And if people want a complete list or just more information or help with any event, they'd call you or get it from your website or both?
Either or, both. We'd be happy to help people with anything they'd like to ask us questions on, whether they need anything from directions to events. They can call us at 419-222-6075. And of course, our website again is www.lima-allencvb.com.
All righty. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Christine Pleva from the Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Reduce, recycle, reuse. Allied Waste Services in the City of Lima encourage you to live green by recycling all that you can. Recycling promotes green living by reducing the amount of waste materials buried in landfills. This saves money, natural resources, and energy. Keep our environment healthy and start recycling today. Allied Waste Services is committed to a clean environment. Contact us today for your recycling needs. Visit our website, republicservicesohio.com, to learn more about recycling today.
Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Lima Safety City today. Hello, I'm Chuck Eichelberger from the Lima Noon Optimist Club. Safety City is a very important part of the Lima community. The Optimist Club is renovating Safety City and it needs your help. Donations can be made by going to the website limasafetycity.org. You can also send a donation to Lima Noon Optimist Club, P.O. Box 428, Lima, Ohio 45802. Help keep the youth of Lima safe by donating to Safety City today.
Crime Stoppers is still active in the Allen, Putnam, and Van Wert counties. Our goal is to assist area law enforcement officers to identify and locate individuals who have committed crimes. If you have any information about anyone who is responsible for committing crimes, please call Crime Stoppers at area code 419-229-STOP.
Crime Stoppers, Crime Stoppers, make the call and pays Crime Stoppers.
Do you think you can afford this neighborhood?
I just rented that apartment.
This building is for adults only.
Sound familiar? Housing discrimination takes many forms. If you've been denied housing based on your race, religion, national origin, sex, family status, handicap, or any other reason, call the Lima Allen Council on Community Affairs. Our Fair Housing Services will investigate the complaint at no cost to you. You deserve good housing. Call LACA today at 419-227-2586.
We're back on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and I'm pleased to welcome to the studio Phil Atkins. He is with the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board of Allen, Auglaize, and Hardin counties. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
You are one of the partners in a suicide prevention summit that's coming up on September 18th.
That's right.
What do you have planned?
This is actually our second summit. Every year we try to do a topical summit. Last year we did it on bath salts and other drugs of abuse, and we had over 800 people come and join us. This year it's on suicide prevention and awareness. In our 3 county areas, Allen, Auglaize, and Hardin counties, we've had 16 suicides in the last year. And those are the ones we know about. That's the ones that the coroner actually rules the cause of death as suicide. It doesn't include the one-car crashes or, things that, drug overdoses that seem accidental. So we're very concerned about suicide. There's been a lot in the media about younger people committing suicide. And so what we have done is we've put together a summit, and we'll be in Krause Auditorium at the Veterans Memorial Civic Center. And we have Dr. Thomas Joyner coming, who is a nationally known expert out of Florida on suicide prevention and awareness. So he will be giving the presentation that day.
And is this for who? Professionals? Is it for families? Who should be attending?
Yes,
Everybody.
To both. It's for professionals, it's for family members, it is for community people, pastors, youth leaders, teachers, administrators, anyone who really deals with the public, which is everybody, on dealing with suicide and how people, when they die by suicide, the aftermath of dealing with families and friends who have lost someone to suicide. Each one of those 16 suicides in our 3-county region, people exist in a context. They have families, they have friends, they have coworkers, and they're all affected by this act of suicide.
Well, and you always hear the families say, I never saw it coming.
Right.
How can that be that somebody is so depressed they're committing suicide and their closest family and friends don't know?
Well, a couple of things that you just kind of led me into right there. First of all, most people who commit suicide do so because they have a depressive illness. And so one of the things that we can do, obviously, is treat their depression before they die by suicide. Oftentimes there are subtle signs that, unless we're trained and have information, we may miss. Now, sometimes a suicide just kind of happens and people are really caught off guard. But typically there is some sort of a warning sign, and that warning sign is often depressive illness.
What should we be looking for?
Well, I think changes in appetite, changes in mood, changes in personality, people giving away possessions that they are meaningful to them. Oftentimes people will say, I just don't feel like I can do it anymore. I just feel like I need to get away from it all, or escape, or there may be other things in their lives that are complicating: a job loss, a divorce, perhaps a physical illness.
So are they planning this for a while, or are suicides spur of the moment?
I think it's both. Some people take a long time to kind of plan suicides, and they're very thoughtful about it. Others do so kind of in the heat of the moment. We find that younger people who die by suicide often do so more impulsively, which you would kind of think of younger people being more impulsive. It may be as a result of a breakup or bullying or some sort of, rumors on Facebook or, taunts that someone is gay or things that happen at school. With older adults, it's often associated with a loss of identity and depressive illness. Again, divorce, I lose my identity as a married person or as a parent. Job loss is very common among men who complete suicide. So that loss of identity becomes a very critical piece.
So if we notice any of these signs and symptoms, what do we do?
Well, first thing is there's a myth that if we talk about suicide, that people will go ahead and do it. We have to learn to ask the S question, is what we call it. The suicide question: are you feeling like harming yourself? Do you feel like you want to end it all? And sometimes people are so relieved just by having that question asked that it opens up a whole dialogue about what's going on with them.
Gee, what a weird question to ask. I can't imagine walking up to someone and saying, "Are you feeling suicidal today?"
Well, it's people that are close to us.
Sure.
And people that see these changes in behavior over time, and who know that when people face these kind of circumstances, these desperate financial circumstances, we're seeing a lot of that in this economy. It's just not something I walk up to you on the street and say, but people who know each other and notice those changes in behavior.
And then do you offer professional help? What do you do for the person?
I think professional help is very important, and one of the things that we as the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board do for our communities is make sure that crisis intervention services are readily available. We have our HOPE line, which is 1-800-567-HOPE, or 800-567-4673, and people can call that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and come in and be assessed. It's not a scary thing. It's someone who's caring on the other end. You can walk into our crisis center at 797 South Main Street in Lima, and any time of the day or night, and see someone immediately.
Really? Middle of the night there's someone there?
Absolutely. Within 15 or 20 minutes, we'll have you in a private room with a trained professional talking to you at 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve.
And there's really not a stigma attached to this like there used to be, even, a generation ago. Yes,
you're right, that people are talking about it more, but when I talk with families who have had someone who has completed suicide, they still feel the stigma, because when, after the funeral and after the, kind of immediate kind of outpouring of support, people don't know what to say. Even when somebody dies of natural causes, that's kind of an awkward time. You go to the funeral home, and everybody's a little bit uncomfortable about what to say. Do I say the right things? But what happens when this death has been by suicide?
You ignore it.
Yeah. Well, what do you say? What do you say? Obviously, I'm so sorry. A lot of times the family members are blaming themselves. What did I miss? Why should I, should I have left that weapon available? Should I have noticed something else? Should I have intervened earlier? Should I have demanded that this person get help?
So do you offer support then for the families as well who are left behind?
We do. Families and friends of people who have died by suicide can attend our GRASP meetings, and GRASP is an acronym for something I can't think of right now. And so it's an yes. So it is a trained facilitators who have both had sons who have died by suicide. One of our facilitators had 2 sons that died by suicide. And so that's a free and local group that meets on Tuesday evenings at the Partnerships for Violence-Free Families office. And you can get more information about that on our website, wecarepeople.org.
Okay. So it sounds like the summit on the 18th could be pretty intense, but certainly of interest to a wide segment of the population.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because everybody is touched by this issue. Whether it's somebody's son who we work with, or an immediate family member, or somebody in our church, or a social group, everybody's touched by this issue. And Dr. Thomas Joyner, one of the things that I like about what he's bringing here is not only how to deal with the aftermath, but how to be aware and hopefully prevent the problem from happening in the first place.
Do they need to sign up to attend?
They do need to sign up to attend, and they can go to our website, wecarepeople.org, and right on the homepage there's a big graphic about the suicide. They click on that, it takes us to the registration website. It is absolutely free. We even provide lunch. Continuing education units are available for counselors and social workers and psychologists, EMS workers, so people that would deal on the front lines with suicide can get continuing education units as well.
Okay, September 18th at the Civic Center and wecarepeople.org.
wecarepeople.org.
And if they want to actually talk to a person, they can give you guys a call?
They can. They can call our office at 419-222-5120 and ask for me, Phil Atkins. I'm at extension 10, and so we'll direct them into the right place.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Phil Atkins from the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.